Hi you guys, welcome to my channel. You are watching Zyasake Creations and my name is Keisha, and on my channel I am sharing my sewing journey with you. I want to thank you for stopping by and watching this video. If this is in fact your first time, welcome. I do hope that you find my content interesting enough that you will go ahead, like and subscribe so that you are constantly getting my content as I post new videos. If you are a returning subscriber or returning viewer, I want to thank you for coming back to my channel and I appreciate all of your support. So in today's video, I'm trying to think how do I want to approach this. It's really just going to be a quick update, kind of talking through a couple of things I'm doing, some things that have happened in my sewing room over the last couple. First things first, I want to understand this Me Made May. I have seen so many different postings on Instagram and videos about Me Made May, and I'm not quite sure I understand the concept. I seem to think that Me Made is a month in the year, May, where you just take every day and wear some item that you made for your wardrobe. That's what I've seen, but I've also seen where people are just posting their different plans for the month of May. So I'm really not clear on what Me Made is all about. So if you can share some insight into the Me Made hoopla, I would really appreciate. About Me Made, as I said, I've seen lots of people pretty much posting pictures of things that they've made or what their plans are and talking those through. So I actually do have on an outfit or a dress that I made, and I am very happy about it. I made this dress. It is actually a caftan, and I made it using Simplicity 9811, I believe, and it came together really quick, really easy. And I do have another video on my channel where I'm sharing some of the details about what it took to make this dress, to make this caftan happen. So feel free to go ahead and find that video and go ahead and watch. I wore this caftan today working from home. It was very soft, very cozy, very free-flowing, and I'm definitely considering making a couple more of these, especially to wear around the house just on a comfortable, cozy type day. Now I want to get into what I have been working on in my room. First things first, I have gone ahead and started making my Simplicity 9707 button-down shirt. As I told you guys before in my previous video, this shirt, there are lots of first times for me in this shirt. So I am taking my time and trying to get this shirt done. I don't know how long it will take me to get it done, but I am determined to finish it out sometime in the month of May. So I have seen a lot of people just talking about, you know, how long it takes them to make this particular shirt. And I'm actually curious myself to see how long it takes me to make this shirt. So I'm going to be timing myself every time I go and work on this shirt. I'm going to be setting my timer to see exactly how long in the end it took me to get this shirt made. So I do not plan to include what I did in terms of preparing the shirt, in terms of like pressing the fabric or washing the fabric or cutting out the pattern pieces. I don't want to include the prep work in this calculation, but I am going to include everything I do in terms of the actual construction of the shirt. So having said that, I have a couple of things I want to acknowledge about this pattern. So when I worked on this pattern last week is when I began it, I noticed that on the instructions, when you cut the pockets out, there's a part of here that tells you to let the pattern piece hang off of the fabric itself. So I've done this before, but I forgot what I made when I did this. But for some reason, when I had to do it for this particular garment, it didn't make sense because I wasn't sure how much of the pattern piece should have hung off of the fabric itself. So it tells you that where there's a star on this Simplicity pattern, that you should go ahead and make sure that that pattern piece, when you cut it, hangs somewhat off of the fabric itself. I could not tell how much of that fabric should hang off of the pattern, how much of the pattern piece should hang off of the fabric. So I went ahead and just cut my pattern pieces for my pocket based on one of the other layouts in this garment. So I hope that makes sense. I did notice that. So if you have any insight on that, please let me know. because I'm very sure I will encounter this again in other patterns, and I want to know exactly what that means and how much of the pattern piece should in fact be laying off of the fabric and hanging away from the table. I did also notice that when I was preparing the pattern pieces and cutting out my fabric, I did have to pull out my tracing wheel and some tracing paper, the ink tracing paper. So I had to use that so that I was able to trace my pleat lines and also mark my button markings. I did not have a regular wheel, so I had to use my serrated, I think that's what you call the serrated tracing wheel. So I used that to go ahead and trace my my markings for the pleat lines and the buttonhole markings. And then, so that my pleat lines will stand out, there's the dotted line for the pleat, and then there is the solid line for the pleat. I then went ahead and just used my marking pen to just make that dotted line a solid line, so I know which lines I need to overlap to make the pleat when I'm ready to do that. So those are just a couple things I noted as I was working on or rather starting to work on this shirt. Y'all, would you believe that I made a crazy mistake in step 2 of this pattern? Okay, step 2 of this shirt. Could you believe it? So the first instruction is to go ahead and stay stitch your collar, and I did that. No problem. 1/2 inch seam allowance, went ahead and stay stitched. Very simple, very basic. However, what's not on the pattern piece is to go ahead and insert an interfacing strip along the part of the shirt where you will have to create your buttonholes and sew your buttons. I saw this as a part of a tutorial I watched by Brittany J. Jones, where she said, although it's not on the pattern instructions itself, it's a great idea to go ahead and create some interfacing to make sure that area of your garment is stabilized, because you get lots of wear and not tear, but lots of wear with the button and the buttonhole there. So put interface. So I did that, but would you believe I put my interface on the right side of the fabric? Let me show you. And I didn't notice what I was actually doing until I went and tried to do the whole flipping from one side to the next, and it didn't look right. It didn't turn out proper at all. And I realized after watching her video several other times and looking at my instructions that I think what I should have done was put my interfacing on the wrong side of the fabric. And then that way, when I got ready to do all of my turning it out, it would lay and it would be proper on the garment. So I am not discouraged by that. I get it. It was only step 2 where I made this little this error, but I am going to okay, so I actually thought maybe I could remove the interfacing, but of course it's fusible, so that wasn't going to happen. You can see I was trying to salvage a little bit something here, but I already knew that wasn't going to work, but I tried it anyway. But what I am going to do is I'm going to remove this part here where the interfacing is, and I am going to keep my fabric. I'm going to use it for something else later, what I don't know, but I don't want to waste my fabric here because there's so much of it, and I could get something really nice and cute and fun out of this. And not to mention, I did this on both sides. So this is one side where the interfacing is on the right side, and on the other side, and I think this was pattern piece 1, if I'm not mistaken, I did the same thing. So I did it twice. So while there's no turning back from this, I don't think, I am going to just take the interfacing off and keep the fabric and do something else with it much later. The good thing is that I did have enough fabric. I'm glad I purchased as much as I did of this particular fabric. I do have enough to go ahead and cut this again. So I'm going to start over and cut my pattern pieces 1, I think these are, again, and this time before I actually infuse or fuse the interface, I'm going to just lie it on the garment, maybe pin it, and just see kind of what it will do in terms of when I turn it out, making sure that it is in fact going to be on the inside or outside of the fabric. I'm not really sure, but this didn't work out well. Okay, so next up on my list of things I've got going on and things I want to work on is, I told you all I was going to be making this shirt right here for my husband, 9314, and I looked at this shirt, and I tell you, I read this envelope so many times, and in my mind I thought I was going to be getting like a cotton knit, cotton knit, or maybe like a t-shirt knit or something like that. Yeah, t-shirt knit. When I looked at the instructions or looked at the fabric choices and talking to my husband about what he thought he might want to go look for, it actually says on here that I need to be using knits such as jersey or interlock. So that's a little different from what I had thought I was going to be looking for. So I'm glad I actually went and read the back of the envelope another time to make sure that I knew what we were actually going to look for. So yeah, he still wants this shirt, so I'm gonna still make it for him, but the fabric choice is gonna probably be a little different from what I had imagined. So I did tell him, like I showed him this fabric here, this being a double brush poly knit. He felt it, but he thought it would have been too thick for him or too weighty for him for the summer in this kind of shirt, so he's not going to opt for anything like this, but maybe a much thinner jersey type fabric. So we're going to be going shopping pretty soon. I believe Hobby Lobby has a sale on fabric this week. Hopefully that goes into the weekend. We'll have some time maybe to go and get him some fabrics. I can work on his shirt for him. So I do plan to cut out the pattern pieces for this, just because I want to make sure I'm able to keep my sewing going, and I don't want to have a whole bunch of breaks in between my projects. So I think if I get this cut out, then I am much more likely to get it done and finished sometime this month, because I already have done most of the prep work for it rather. So yeah, so those are my plans for this shirt. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to share. I don't think that's it. I think that's everything I'm going to share today in this video. I do hope that you are enjoying the content on my channel. And again, if you like this video and this type of content and want to share in on my sewing journey and be a part of my journey, I do invite you to like this video and also subscribe so that you're able to get all the notifications as I'm posting new content. Also, sharing my journey on Instagram. So if you're using social media, or if you're using Instagram, feel free to jump over to Instagram and follow me there, where I'm showing you more of the real-time things about what I'm doing in sewing. So again, I want to thank you for watching my video. And until we come together again, God bless, and I'll see you soon. Bye.